Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new then welcome and hi. This is my cat Coco. She's very cute. So today's video is just a bit on how my life has been since being in a mental hospital, because I've been feeling quite shitty lately, which isn't good, and I can sort of feel myself getting back into old habits like sleeping in heaps and not sleeping during the night and eating unhealthily and just drinking too much and feeling shit basically. And I wanted to talk a bit about that because there's not really, people don't talk about mental hospitals, let alone when you get out, how hard it is. So I wanted to talk a bit about that and a bit about my story, so this video might be a bit longer. Sorry in advance. But yeah, so since I've got some notes here that I'll just skim through. Since leaving the mental hospital, I was in a subacute hospital. It's really good there for the routine, especially was what helped me a lot. So that's very hard, keeping up the routine of doing the daily exercise and doing something good for yourself each day, eating pretty healthily, just that sort of stuff. Another thing for me is I miss having the 24/7 support. If you've seen my other video, I think I explained it, but you literally have staff members 24 hours a day. So if something came up or if I was having not such a good day, I would have like basically a professional to talk to anytime I liked. Like it could be 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. It didn't matter. I have my mum, I still live with my mum, and I have her, and I know that I could use her at 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. But I think having like an outside person's view on situations is a lot more helpful sometimes than someone that's either been in the situation with you or knows about you. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's unhelpful, if that makes sense. Yeah, another thing was that I'm missing the people as well and the connections that you make in there. You're with people for all hours of the day, 4 weeks. Like I went home on weekends, but that's still 5 days a week. You're spending like a good 4 or 5 hours with people. I miss that. I miss some of the people and even the staff members. There was a few of the staff members that I really clicked with and that really helped me throughout my stay. Another thing is, I don't know if other people, if you've been in a mental hospital and you have similar experiences, feel free to message me. But I feel like no one cares once you're out. When you first go in or tell people that you're going in, everyone sort of freaks out and they're like, oh shit, something's actually wrong. Everyone reacts differently, but I got a lot of like, oh wow, she's must be bad if this is what's happening. And then it's once you're out, everyone just thinks you're sort of like fixed or something, and they just don't really check on you or anything. Like, not saying that I need someone to check on me 24 hours a day, but I don't think anyone has really checked on me since I've been out of hospital and like how I'm coping with life, really. Like I have my close friends that talk to me and we all check on each other, but no one really has said anything about hospital since I've left, which I can understand why, but I think people just forget that it's not just being in hospital and being fixed, it's so much stuff afterwards, let alone during it, and having to keep it up is really hard. So I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk because the past few days, little things have sort of happened. It very quickly grew into a ball of mess and a ball of emotions that weren't good or healthy. I've spoken to people about it, so you don't have to worry, and I've got Headspace tomorrow, which is good. But I've been feeling not suicidal, but having suicidal ideation. If you don't know what it is, it's not caring whether or not you die, but not actively trying to kill yourself. And I think about death a lot when I feel bad. Not in the way I'm gonna kill myself, just in the way like if it's scary, if I don't care, all these different emotions and stuff, which is scary and it's upsetting to have these thoughts. I was just driving last night because going for drives really helps me, and just listening to music and being alone when I'm doing it is good as well. It's good to sometimes just have alone time. For me, that's like going for drives or bringing my dog or something. All I could think about when I was driving was just swerving and hitting a pole or a tree. It's really distressing feeling that way and feeling so shit and bottled up and just waiting for something to happen for it to all explode. It's upsetting and it's hard seeing yourself slip back into that. Part of me just feels like a failure. I just feel really shitty. I also have OCD, and I get intrusive thoughts with it. I always knew that they get worse when I'm bad, but they've been really bad at the moment. Like I said, thinking about just driving into poles and stuff like that, and it's like always horribly graphic, and it just gets stuck in my head, and then my anxiety goes and it just repeats itself, so it's not nice. And I suffer heaps badly with low motivation when I'm depressed and when I'm down. I won't want to shower, or not that I don't want to, like I want to shower, I want to be hygienic, I want to sleep, and I want to wake up early. It's just my body just feels like it can't. And so many people don't get that, and they just think like, oh, just suck it up, just go to work, just get up, just shower, like it's easy. Which it is for a lot of people, it is easy, but for someone that suffers with depression, anxiety, OCD, and insomnia, it gets fucking hard sometimes. And not many people understand that unless you or someone very close to you has experienced it. It's hard to understand. It's frustrating because people just think you're like being a sook or being attention seeking, when it's just how your brain works and you're trying your hardest to fix that. But people don't see it like that, and people get quite cruel about it. I think I might talk about my story, especially because I'm feeling so shitty lately. I think it'll be, once I tell my story, people might understand more why and how long this has been going on for. It started when I was in year 7, so I was 12, and my cousin started bullying me, which for so many people was like, what the hell, like that's your cousin. I'm still like, what the hell. But she's been, to be honest, quite horrible since she was a kid, and would always have behavioral problems and stuff like that. So she just took everything out on me, which was weird because I was like her best friend for so long. It was hard because someone that I loved so much and cared about and did everything with to turn on me like that was just horrible. And she was a year above, and so all of her friends would bully me as well. And I had my friends, and we would say comments back, and just it wasn't helpful, but it was good having my friends stick up for me, because they would be writing stuff about me in the toilets and just horrible stuff like that. A few of her friends live near where I do, and I would walk to and from school. They would yell out at me and they would chuck rocks at the back of me and just horrible stuff like that, and really just dumb, stupid, petty stuff, which was horrible to deal with. Year 7 is hard enough, going to a new school and meeting new people and figuring out your classes, let alone being bullied constantly every single day. And that really formed my anxiety for me. Like, I would get so anxious going to school. I would get panic attacks every time I'd walk through the gates. It was horrible. My anxiety when I was younger, like when I was 12 or 13, it turned into anger. I'd be playing my Xbox games and I would get so angry, and I would throw the controllers and I would punch things, and I would swear at my mum. Like, it was really horrible. It took us a while to figure out, oh, that's anxiety, because I was so angry, and because I'd always been a bit anxious my whole life, but it just got 10 times worse when that started happening. So then the next year I moved to a different school where my best friend was going at the time, and he was really good and supportive. And he's been my best friend since the first day of kindergarten. So we've been friends, I think it's like 14 years this year or something, which is crazy. And that was hard at first. Again, going to a new school, learning everything, meeting new people, and like for someone that already has anxiety, that stuff is so much scarier than it would be for an average person. But that was about it for my first year. That I wasn't getting bullied or anything. There was a few incidents, but it wasn't bullying, it was just people being dickheads. Yeah, so that was about it for my first few years there until I got to year 10, and that's when all the popular boys, all the hot guys, were starting to sort of target me, because I wasn't just sitting down and letting them treat people like shit. I was standing up for myself and for other people and for women's rights and gay rights. And I would pick them up on when they were being assholes, when they were being racist and homophobic and sexist. I would say something, and I was like the only one that did, so they would always target me. That was horrible, because they wouldn't just be like, oh, shut up. They would make it personal when they would attack me for what I was wearing that day, like my shoes or something. If we'd go on a school field trip or where we could wear like mufti or something, then I'd get bullied for the clothing I was wearing then. And I was bullied for like I think, a year and a half by them. Things from like my clothing to my sexuality to anything, just whatever it was, whatever they could find something to pick on me for, they would. And it was horrible and really, really impacted my mental health. Like I said, I already had anxiety, and then things slowly just started deteriorating. And during year 9, I'm pretty sure it was, around then I found out some horrible news. They'd been sexually assaulted. Well, they'd been raped, not sexually assaulted. I think there's a difference. Which was heartbreaking, and it was by someone that we let in our house. Obviously, we didn't know at the time, but someone that was basically a family member to us, and for them to just do that was heartbreaking for me and the person. Yeah, it was just a really fucked up situation and really impacted my mental health, because I have experienced sexual assault when I was younger, when I was about 8, and that was by someone my age at the time. Hearing that happen to someone I'm so close with was heartbreaking and horrible, and also at the same time brought up stuff that had happened to me. So that was a really bad time in my life. And so then I'm trying to deal with that, as well as being bullied every day, and then being bullied online by the same people that think they're king shit and that they can do whatever they want and they don't have consequences, because that's what would happen 90% of the time, is that they wouldn't have any consequences. So then I was getting bullied online, and because they're all footy boys, then they would get the footy boys from other schools to comment on stuff and to drag me and to just be horrible as well. And so that was really not nice. It's a horrible feeling, thinking that people that you don't even know have something to say about you that's negative. I can never imagine just commenting on something that I don't even know about, and the person that I don't know about, and commenting like, oh yeah, she's fat, or she's ugly anyway, and all this horrible stuff. Like, I just can't even imagine that. I don't know why anyone would do that or want to do that, or think, what could you possibly get out of that? I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't think anyone actually admits it, but like, I've bullied someone in my past. I don't know if she watches my videos, but like, we're fine now. But in year 7, I was quite mean to her, and then realized it, and I was talking to mum about it, and I apologized and everything, and we're fine now. Yeah, we're fine now, but I don't think anyone actually admits when they are like that, or when they bully someone. And I think a lot of people do, and half the time they don't even realize. Like, I went to school with so many people that were horrible, and I bet none of them will admit or think that they've done anything wrong. I don't think any of them would. And because it's hard as well, especially if you care about other people, if you're empathic like me, it's hard admitting that you would hurt someone on purpose. But that doesn't stop the other person from hurting. Just because you block it out doesn't mean that that person has stopped hurting. They still hurt a lot, and it's horrible. Yeah, like I said, I don't think anyone admits that, or they definitely don't admit it enough, because I know so many people that have been horrible to not just me, but my friends and so many other people I know, and they would have no idea, or they wouldn't want to think that they had done anything wrong, because they think that they're just the best person, which is shitty, because everyone has faults, and if you realize that you have them, then you should try and work on them, is my opinion on it. So I had all that shit going on, and I'd sort of finally had enough. I was really drunk one night. People didn't understand, because that night I was so happy. I had been bullied that night, and it really upset me, but like, I was masking it. And everyone kept asking me like, oh, like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I obviously wasn't. Not obviously to them, I mean for myself. I was really suicidal and just wanted to self-harm and do horrible things to myself, which I did. Yeah, I was really intoxicated at the time, like no drugs, just alcohol though. Yeah, I won't say how I did it, but I tried to commit suicide. It was a really traumatic experience, because what happened, I was having these horrible seizure fit things, and that was really distressing. It was horrible for my mum and for my sister to watch as well. That was really traumatizing for them as well, I think. I know it definitely was for my mum. My sister didn't see, I think she saw a few that weren't very bad, but my mum saw the really bad ones. I think it was just under 24 hours it was happening for. I think it was like 18 hours or something. It was happening, like not non-stop, but it would happen once every hour or a couple of hours. Yeah, so that was bad. And then I got out of hospital, and I was 16 at the time. I'm 19 now, 20 in October. So yeah, and all the nurses were like, oh my God, like, you're so young. And a few of them spoke to me and was like, you have your whole life ahead of you. Don't give up, basically. Which at the time I was just like, fuck off, whatever, I feel shit. I don't want to hear it. I haven't attempted since, which is good, and I'm proud of myself for not. It was a few weeks before I went into hospital. I haven't attempted since, but it was a big self-harm thing, and I'd like taken some tablets and stuff as well, but it wasn't in a suicidal way. It was just in a way that I wanted to hurt myself, which was upsetting for mum again, because she was with me, and like I said, I live with her, not she lives with me. I live with her. So I told her straight away. We went to the hospital, got everything checked out, and I'm fine. Everything was fine. I sort of had a bit of a relapse then. Ow. And then that's basically why I went into hospital. I don't even know if many people know that that happened. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell many people, at least. So that was probably about 2 months ago that happened. 2.5 maybe. It's upsetting. It's hard. So I wanted to talk about this video of how to sort of get an understanding of how hard it is when you have so much shit going on. Even if it's not in your normal life, you might have a perfectly fine normal life. You might have, like me, I have a job, I have a supportive family, I have supportive friends, I have animals that love me, but shit is still hard because of what's going on in my head. It has been since I was about 12, so like 7 years now, which is, it's tiring. It's really tiring that it's been going on for so long. Just wanted to say that, and to check on your friends. If you think something's not okay, check on them. Even if you feel like you're annoying them, you're better off annoying them in a good way than letting them feel like shit alone. Look after each other, look after your mental health, try and hold on, because things do get better. Even now, like while I feel shit, I know that things will get better, and now when I feel shit, after years that this has happened, I have the knowledge to know that things will get better. When I was younger, I didn't have that, and I thought things were just going to stay shit forever, which they don't. And if you have had a similar experience to me, or even if you relate to just one of the things that I said, I believe in you, and I believe that you can do it as well, and you can get through this. And even on the toughest days, you can do it, because life is worth living, even when it seems like it's not. And there are always things to look forward to. I think that's about all I wanted to say. Sorry that it's so long, and thank you if you made it this far. This one was a bit more serious, but I think it's important and needs to be said. If you're new, subscribe, leave a comment and a like and all that jazz. Thanks for watching. Bye.